I'm at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, and this location houses all the history of the sport of baseball. But there's another rich history here, and that's the history of brewing. And that's why Turning Craft came to Central New York. This content is made possible in part by craft loyal sponsors like Turning Stone Resort Casino, a renowned 3,400-acre destination resort in upstate New York, which features world-class amenities including 4 hotels, 2 spas, 5 golf courses, an all-new 125,000 square foot Las Vegas-style gaming floor, and a host of other entertainment venues. Conveniently located east of Syracuse, Turning Stone has earned many prestigious awards, including the 2018 Condé Nast Johansson's Award for Excellence and 3 Forbes 4-Star Awards. With more than 20 restaurants and dining options, and more than 12 bars and cocktail lounges, Turning Stone offers a wide variety of craft beers, including the best beers brewed in New York State. When we found out we'd be taking the Turning Craft experience to Central New York, we knew right away what was in store for us. Spanning 12 counties, the region they now call Brew Central is home to over 70 breweries. Being that we could only spend a few days here, we had to narrow down our visits, and one brewery we couldn't pass up the opportunity to hang with was Brewery Ommegang. Over the past 20 years, Brewery Ommegang has earned the reputation in the American brewing industry as a company that has helped turn the nation's palates onto Belgian-style beers. And in recent years, they've become known to drinkers everywhere as the only and official beer of the iconic HBO series, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so the Game of Thrones relationship has been around for, we're on our 6th year, almost. It's been a lot of fun. It's so different from what we do every day otherwise. When you're designing a beer for a concept in a show that is tumultuous as that show has been, and we're all fans of the show. So, it's fun because we're not in control, I guess, in a certain sense. I mean, we control the beer very much, but we have our sort of semi-annual concepting sessions with HBO, and they don't give away where all things are going. And we try to, the point of these beers is to try to give the fans something as an accompaniment to watching the show, or the fans' friends as an accompaniment to watching the show. So we try to be as current with what's going on in the show as we as fans can be. We scroll the blogs just like everybody else does, I suppose. But it's always fun because we have these meetings, we sit down like, we're thinking, for example, for this, for Winter is Here, it's got the Night King on the label. And this was a year ago that we were planning these things, so we were thinking of putting him on the label. Good idea? Not they're like, good idea. Like, okay, all right, we got something here, all right. So.
We're on a beautiful piece of property here. This area of New York State was the epicenter of hop growing back in the 1800s, kind of like what Yakima is now. And this was actually a former hop farm back in the day. The original long, high-peak brewery was made to look like a Belgian barn, like a farmhouse brewery.
We had the pleasure of joining the brewery's CEO and brewmaster at their Cooperstown, New York headquarters to do a little tasting and a little exploring as well.
The initial, like Doug says, instead of us as brewers thinking we want to brew this style or this flavor, HBO has given us cues on what to kind of focus on, whether it was a character or a setting in the show. So that was interesting.
Do corny Game of Thrones puns kind of pervade?
They do occasionally pop up. Yes, absolutely. All
right, so we have Hennepin here.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, classic. Cheers. So good.
Like I spoke about using spices in the brew house, this has a number of them. Grains of paradise, coriander, real signature spice. And this is ginger. Kind of gives it a little bit of that crisp snap at the end.
Had you done many saisons before Hennepin took off and became as popular?
I don't think too many folks had done any saisons. Hennepin's was one of the original beers, and this is one of the first saisons built, brewed in the country.
Yeah. Right, this is the Fire and Blood, kind of a Belgian red ale. brewed with ancho chilies to accentuate the fire. But again, nicely balanced.
This was the third beer for Game of Thrones, and the stories, I always love hearing the brewers talk about it, because, I mean, when you say that it's got peppers, it's hand-peeled peppers, you know, and like de-seeded.
So somebody cried a lot over this beer.
There are a lot of gentlemen that are not ordinarily seen crying were, and made to cry to make this beer.
Okay, so this is the 20th anniversary, basically our 15th anniversary beer, which is like a strong dark Belgian that we then put in bourbon barrels.
You guys turned America on to Belgian beer almost. I mean, do you take credit for that, or?
Along with a few pretty other awesome breweries around the country, yes. But yeah, I mean, Ommegang was at the forefront of it for sure.
Cheers.
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 To 20 years.
To 20 years.
Ommegang was truly a spectacular brewery to have spent time with. We ended up meeting a lot of great brewers and drinking many great beers during our trip. But we really came to New York to turn drinkers to craft. And our crew came prepared with some new ideas on how to do just that. Now, normally we have time to prep for our guests on Turning Craft, but we're a couple shows in and we were up for a challenge. So we're here today at Turning Stone Resort Casino in Central New York, and we're gonna go straight to the gaming floor and find some strangers and put them through a beer and food pairing experience at a great restaurant here in the casino. We're feeling like we can roll the dice and come out winners today. Conveniently located just above the casino's gaming floor, the Upstate Tavern at Turning Stone offers a wide variety of food and beverage items, all produced in upstate New York. Lucky for us, the chef at Upstate offered to lend us a hand with our latest conversion attempt. Here comes somebody. Excuse me. My name's Jeremy. I'm with a show called Turning Craft. We're here filming in the casino today. And we're trying to find people who like adult beverages. Do you guys both consume adult beverages?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, great. What is your beverage of choice, Tia?
I am a light beer drinker.
A light beer drinker?
Yeah.
What about you?
I like dark
You
beers.
like dark beers? Do you like craft beer?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. We've got something kind of really cool planned upstairs in the Upstate Tavern. It involves food and beer pairing. Would you guys be interested in participating?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Let's go on upstairs.
Try it out.
All right. So Ed and Tia, thank you for agreeing to be a part of our little experiment in drinking here. The purpose of Turning Craft is to take drinkers who maybe are apprehensive to trying craft beer or just completely prefer another adult beverage and open up their experiences a little bit and let them try the variety that's available and learn a little bit more about the world of craft beer and brewing. You guys are players here at the casino?
Yeah.
What's your favorite game, Ed?
I like craps. I like roulette. And then we sit and play some slots every now and then.
I'm more of a slot player, so.
Yeah, slots.
Yep.
It's kind of my flavor too. Tia, you said that you're a bartender?
Yes, I am a bartender up near Westernville, New York. We do sell a few local craft beers. I've never really experimented with any of them, but we do have a few porters, a stout, some IPAs.
Very cool. So are you guys ready to give some varieties of craft beers a shot today?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. And ready to taste some good food?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. All right.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, so we got our fish and chips. We incorporated the Upstate lager right into the beer batter that we use for the fish. Lagers go really well with light seafood. Probably one of the mildest beers that we've got here as far as the pairings go. So even if you're not a big connoisseur of the craft beer, you can really enjoy it.
Looks yummy. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, let's wash it down. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
It's delicious, actually.
Uh-huh.
You like the beer?
I do. I do like it.
It's really tasty.
Yes, it is.
Surprise you from a lager style?
No, I mean, I've tried probably 100 different ones. Just when we go places, I'll just order, let me try it. I mean, a little class, but you know.
It's a little bitter, but I like it. It's still kind of light.
How's it go with the fish?
Perfect.
It's very good. Very good.
We have our Upstate Tavern signature burger here. It's got a cilantro aioli, our signature angry onions. It's hot sauce, buttermilk, and then they're dredged in Cajun seasoning and flour. On top of it, we have a bacon jam. It's made with maple syrup, bourbon, and everyone loves bacon. So it pairs really well with the Nirvana because Nirvana is kind of a lighter, hoppier IPA, but it's got a strong hoppy finish. It's kind of going to clear your palate every time you take a swig of it, so you're going to get the first bite every time you take a drink of your beer. So.
It looks great. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Probably need something a little bitter to wash that down, though.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
It's good. Yeah.
No words?
Woo! Yeah. It's a little punch there.
A little punch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bit much?
No, it's not too much.
It goes good with the sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't lying about the palate cleanser then.
No, not at all.
Right on.
I can't even taste what I just ate.
All right, so we're gonna go a little different here. We got our apple pie. It's made fresh in-house at our bakery here. A la mode, so it's got vanilla ice cream over top of it with a little bit of our apple caramel sauce. The sweetness is really gonna cut through the bitterness of your stout.
It's like a nice hot apple pie. I bet this beer goes great with it. Cheers, guys.
It does.
Delicious. Okay, I'm getting it. The milky and the... All right. Yeah.
Did you know a craft beer could taste like that?
I did not. I would actually prefer that with a dessert.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Is it a big contrast between the apple pie and the chocolatey notes of the beer?
It is, but they just work well for each other.
I think it washes that down very well, but it doesn't overpower the palate.
So Tia, you got to taste some beers that you normally wouldn't, and Ed, it seems like maybe we even got some on your palate that you normally don't experiment with.
Never tried, yeah.
So, what are your guys' impressions?
I would buy them. I'd drink them.
I will definitely, in the future, order a stout. I don't know about an IPA. It might not really be my thing, but I can definitely see the enjoyment out of it.
Especially if you match it up with the right food.
Yeah.
We came out ahead after putting it all on the line with some random drinkers. Any day you can turn a bartender to craft, you know the gambling gods are on your side. Pairing craft beer with gaming wasn't exactly what we had expected out of our adventure here in Brew Central, but we were happy with our untraditional win. After that, we were ready for something steeped in tradition, so we headed to Utica, and boy did we find what we were looking for.
When you go through here, you see some of the Utica Club bottles from the late 30s and early 40s. A lot of styles that become very popular in craft that, you know, people think are newer things are on the block, but we were brewing porters and bocks and IPAs back in the 1930s and 1940s.
FX Matt is the fourth oldest family-owned brewery in the United States and is parent to the iconic brands Utica Club and Saranac.
So Jeremy, this is my great-grandfather. This is FX. He emigrated from Germany back in 1878, and he took over the brewery in 1888. And so it's an existing brewery here that he took over. Some really fun stories about him. My favorite is that he actually read his obituary. So he had a heart attack back when I think he was either late 60s or early 70s. And read his obituary in the paper, lived to be 99 and worked here until the day he died. Yeah, he actually hung in there through Prohibition, which was 13 years. We actually make a beer, Legacy IPA, that's based on his 1914 recipe. So that was pre-Prohibition, which was really unique at that time.
Personally, I've gotten to tour many breweries in America, but there was something truly unique about this one. There's just something added to all the tastes and fragrances of the brewing process when you're taking it all in with over a century's worth of history. Awestruck is the best way to describe the feeling. Well, awestruck and thirsty.
So I'm really glad I get to taste some beer now. What we got
Yes,
here?
everyone's favorite part, right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Thank
yeah.
you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This is our Big Moose Ale. It's a seasonal, so it's our winter ale. This is a new beer. Features Amarillo and Citra hops.
I can definitely smell the beer. Oh yeah.
You get some nice bitterness to round that out, but really smooth.
But it's some dominating flavor hops in there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a great beer. Almost crushable.
Yeah, we're really proud of, with our beers, our brewing philosophy is all about distinctive tasting, but truly drinkable. And so we want to make beers that are unique, that have a point of difference versus what's happening in the marketplace, but it does all come back to enjoying beers. So this is our strawberry tart, technically a Berliner Weiss style beer. We use a lactose strand that they actually use in Greek yogurt. We're the first that we know of that's used that to use as the kettle souring, and then balance that out with real strawberry. And so what we think is interesting about that, again, we try to make them truly drinkable, and the sweetness balances out the sourness. So you find a nice middle ground that's something that you can have more than one of.
Oh, that smells amazing.
Yeah,
it really does.
That's a nose full of strawberry.
Oh, I want a bubble bath of that. Oh, yeah. Really true to the Berliner Weiss style, but really taste nothing but strawberry. It's
Yeah, you almost get that like dollop of strawberry right in the center of your tongue. So this is the Utica Club brand.
the beer that started it all.
Yes, the beer that started it all. It started as soft drinks back during Prohibition. Crazy to think that Prohibition lasted 13 years. Imagine not being able to drink for 13 years. And this is the first beer sold after Prohibition. And we tell some funny stories and joke about breaking laws. But the truth is that my great uncle was very involved in the petitioning down in Washington. And so he was clear on when the legislation was going to be signed. So he showed up at their offices and got the first license signed. And we were the first ones to be able to sell beer. Had a big parade down from Hotel Utica down to the brewery, tapped the first keg, and Prohibition was over.
Oh, delicious. I don't tell too many people this, but a true German Pilsner was my gateway beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's what got me into craft about 15 years ago. So.
Yeah, it's an underrated style, and it's, particularly if you've had a long night, it's a good downshift to help you close down the night.
It really is. We're moving on to one of my favorite styles.
Yeah, you like the big stouts?
I do. I like the big barrel-aged stouts.
Yeah. So this is a Russian Imperial Stout, barrel-aged in bourbon barrels. You'll get a nice roastiness to it, some chocolatey flavors, some vanilla. What I think is most interesting about this beer, we've let this bottle condition for a year. What you find is that everything just rounds itself out. And for 11.4% alcohol, this is shockingly easy to get down, and it's super smooth.
Oh yeah. But the problem with a beer like this being so drinkable is it could be a night ender, right?
They can.
So the cast and crew of Turning Craft were just so thrilled to be able to come up here to Central New York, thanks to Brew Central. And we were really intrigued by the idea of this government system that's come together to promote beer tourism. It's a pretty unique animal, I think, in the country. And you guys are a part of that. What does it mean to your brewery to be a part of that? And what does it mean to Utica and the rest of Central New York, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's really great. It affords opportunities like this to come to life, and thank you guys for being here. But I think having it is a very divided industry, and over 5,000 breweries with more than 3,000 licensed to come on over the next couple of years. So there's a lot of different interests within the category, and so to have some organizing bodies and some centralizing bodies keeps everybody rowing in the same direction. And that's one of the things that we all love about craft, is that we all know that all boats rise when you get more people interested in craft. We all win together. And so when you've got a body like Brew Central that helps that happen and helps bring more consumers to craft, it's a great thing for the category.
Well, cheers to you guys.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for being here.
Turning Craft spent our time in New York as guests of the Brew Central Tourism Organization, whose purpose is to showcase the craft renaissance brewing in this part of the country. After a full day of seeing firsthand why Central New York is a true craft beer destination, we had a chance to return the favor by converting one of Brew Central's own.
So Cassie,
Yes.
I want to know, how do you work for Brew Central and not like beer?
Right? Well, you don't have to taste it all to represent it. It's just, it's part of the job. I guess I do a lot of marketing and PR, and I don't know, I haven't had a lot of experience tasting beer. I mean, we go out and do things, but beer is just not my drink of choice.
You watch other people drink beer?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. This is my roommate.
Have you tried any of them, though? Have you tried the breweries?
I've tried a few, yeah, but I mean, it's just, I actually gravitate towards hard cider, so that's what I'll go and try more of, I think.
But Sarah, you like specifically craft beer, right?
Well, yeah, I definitely don't hate it, and I don't want to say that I love all craft beers, but I'm definitely more apt to try one and then like it after.
Yeah.
What's your favorite style of craft beer?
Not that. But like blonde ales, I'll try different IPAs. If it has, I like the citrusy flavors a lot, and if there's any fruity tones in it, I like that.
It's about balance.
Yeah.
Bitterness comes from alpha acids and hops.
Okay.
And sometimes people utilize those acids, and which can create that kind of bitterness that you end up with.
That's great, because I was going to ask you, what beer, after hearing this conversation, what would you recommend?
I would definitely recommend you try our blonde ale. It's very well balanced, low alcohol, and not overpowering with bitterness.
So I just want to say this is one of the prettiest beers I've seen in a while. It's just got a really great color to it.
Thank you. I think the concept, behind this beer was it's funny you say it, it's kind of to make it very appealing to a wide audience.
Before we take a sip, for the noob craft beer drinker, is there a way that you recommend they approach a new beer like this, or tasting a beer for the first time?
Sure, and this is this is one great reason why we have this style glass. Just swirl a little bit, let that kind of aerate and release the bouquet of the beer, and then sip.
Right, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
My beer does not taste like yours. Yummy.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. Okay, let me try one more time.
Want to try?
Yeah, I would definitely sip on this for sure, but.
All right.
But maybe not, the first thing you would order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt, you said you think sweet's the way to entice our potential convert here. What we got here?
I think just hearing the conversation and thinking about the descriptors that you were using, that I think I think our brown ale might actually be a way to your heart. We just call this our American brown ale. It's very much a brown porter. It's very dark. It's a little robust, which is probably not the word you want to hear. But it's got really nice chocolate, kind of toffee notes, with a little caramel sweetness, finish to it.
Yeah,
So you just get chocolates and toffee notes and roasted, almost a little prune and raisin in there.
Wow, I actually tried.
I think
I surprisingly. Okay, this is a trick because that looks scary and I normally don't go for that. That actually tastes pretty good.
She likes it?
She's like, you spiked
Can we
it
say
with
It's
you
hard cider.
You spiked it with sugar.
I'm wicked surprised right now. Oh my gosh.
And the thing that is funny for me right now is that, I definitely like it, but I still like the Bond Ale better than this.
So, this beer is one I definitely think, I'm not going to say definitely, but I really feel, because you like the brown ale, that you might really enjoy this beer. It's brewed with cocoa nibs, cocoa powder, some lactose sugar, so like a milk sugar. So it gives a really nice body to it. But it's also a really strong beer. It's a 10% alcohol beer. But I really think that because you like that sweet characteristic of beer, and you were, I'm going to say, a fan of the brown ale, that you might like this. And I feel like we're going to bring Sarah and make her also a convert to dark beer. Cheers. Jeremy, thank you so much for coming. No? Not even close. I thought you would like it.
It's okay. And I think that I actually like this better than Annie.
All right.
If I had to choose between one, I would, because I think that just like the chocolate in it. Maybe I just like brown ales better than, I don't know, but yeah. No, I definitely like this.
What I love about this is just getting to know people through their taste buds. It's just such a cool experience. I can't thank you guys enough for coming out here and doing this with us. This is just a really cool experience for me.
Likewise.
As a brewer, as
really
a chef, getting to really just dive into people's taste buds and see if we can't figure out a way for you to like something different. It sounds like we might have gotten at least one beer that you would drink over 5 or 10 beers.
I think we've got a convert, and I think she just needs a little more nudging, some other styles, and I think Sarah can help out with that. Sarah, what do you think?
I think that this experience in general definitely made me more open to just looking at a beer menu anywhere I go and just be like, I might not hate that.
Yeah.
Because, not that I definitely lean more towards trying new things, but I would never choose this.
Yeah.
Now, I might.
Matt and I ended up making a pretty good conversion team. Not only did we get Cassie to expand her palate and discover some independently brewed beer of her liking, but we also helped her friend Sarah to slide over to the darker side of the style spectrum. Our goal, as the experiment of a series that we are, is to turn the world to craft beer one drinker at a time, to do our little part to support the small brewers of the world. Being in New York has helped us strengthen our commitment to that mission, having learned how impactful the industry can be when a community forms around it, like how we discover in the next Brew Central episode of Turning Craft.